This is THV 11 News at 6.
Stop the bull. Sit down and talk to us and end the healthcare crisis. Stop coming up with all of these excuses. He doesn't know anything about what we're doing here.
That is Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer with strong words for President Trump as the government shutdown continues into a record 36th day. That's where we start tonight. Here on the News at 6, I'm Hoyt. Faith has the night off. We're going to bring you the Republican response in a second and about the shutdown, but we've got a developing situation in North Little Rock where a Rock Region Metro bus has crashed and landed a mom and her child in the hospital. North Little Rock police tell us it happened just a few hours ago on Maple and Broadway. The bus had no passengers at the time, but it hit a Volvo with the woman and the baby inside. The transit system said witnesses report the SUV ran a red light. We don't have police confirmation on that or the nature of any of the people's injuries, so we will update you as we learn more. I want to bring in Chief Meteorologist Tom Brannon. Tom, another nice day out there tonight, but we're looking at changes as we head toward the weekend.
Yeah, we always like to look forward. Now, the weekend, for the most part, in terms of the impacts with deer hunters, I think they're going to like the change, especially on Sunday with cooler, crisper air moving in. Now, Saturday morning, by the time folks head out to the deer woods, our temperatures will be in the lower 50s. Right now, we're looking at 60s, primarily statewide. They'll drop off into the lower 50s by tomorrow morning under mainly clear skies. Partly cloudy skies, beautiful Thursday coming up, high in the mid-70s, 76 Friday, with the first of two fronts that will move through. The second front coming in on the other side of Saturday is what's going to drop temperatures, and therefore we have a weather impact advisory for Monday morning and Tuesday morning because of cold temperatures leading to a widespread freeze or frost. So if you didn't get your freeze or frost a few days ago, oh folks, it is coming. I'll talk more about the timing and just how cold in just a few minutes.
All right, Tom. As promised, though, here's the latest on the shutdown as people across the nation continue to ask questions of lawmakers when the federal government might reopen. President Donald Trump addressed the question earlier with Democrats blocking a funding bill that requires 60 Senate votes to pass. The president now wants to scrap the filibuster rule in the Senate that requires those 60 votes. Senate Majority Leader John Thune says that option remains difficult, but Republican senators like Missouri's Josh Hawley continue to face questions of how much they're willing to support the president.
If you're going to put me personally to the choice between providing food assistance to 42 million needy Americans or defending some arcane rule of the Senate, I'm going to choose people. So I would just warn my Democrat colleagues, if they think they can just do this in perpetuity, we're just never going to open back up the government, we're never going to give people food assistance, we're never going to pay the military, that is not a sustainable position.
Remember, the House has passed a short-term funding bill last month. The Senate's tried to pass it 14 times, but Democrats continue to push for an extension to Affordable Care Act subsidies. And the number of types of business organizations trying to help locally continues to grow. THV 11's Maya Ellison has been following all of these efforts for weeks. Today, she's learned how businesses here in the metro are making a difference.
At Dogtown Barber Lounge, everyone who sits in a chair has a story. Chase Turner has heard them all, and right now, a lot of them are about the government shutdown.
I have a client I've been cutting since he was in high school, and joined the military. He's been Army National Guard, but he's full-time Guard, and so he just hasn't been getting paid through this.
It's stories like that one that have him looking for ways to cut the financial stress his customers are facing.
I grew up, and I was on that receiving end of like the turkey that the church gave you or the ham that the school gave you. That went a long way for me. And so we decided, hey, we're gonna start raising funds to partner up with some food banks in the area so that we can just give them large amounts of money to support these people.
And since making the announcement this weekend, his clients haven't hesitated to pay it forward.
At the end of the day, like the human side of things are the small businesses, and people like Chase are really putting their money where their mouth is about being a part of the community.
But funds aren't the only thing piling up.
I have diapers, I have wipes, I have everything that our community needs.
At the entrance of the shop, a food bank. Items brought in by clients and the community, available for anyone in need.
That little bit of ease that we can give them might help them get to that next step to where they don't need it. And maybe they can be on the end giving it instead.
Those efforts go beyond the barbershop. Inside Healthy Life Pet Clinic, you'll find a box filled with non-perishables for families and their four-legged friends.
We are sending a lot of the animal products and some of the perishable foods, like pastas and stuff that you can cook with like stove water sort of thing, will go there and go on base. Some of our clients are going to bring that to some of the families that aren't able to get off base, and then the Arkansas Food Bank as well.
Dr. Caitlin Lang says other clinics have joined in throughout Central Arkansas, and through it all, the message remains the same.
I'm hoping to kind of offset some of that financial burden and keep their pets fed and themselves. Hope we can just, take a little bit off their minds this season for sure.
In North Little Rock, Maya Ellison, THV 11 News.
Maya, thank you. More local angles. Tomorrow, state lawmakers are scheduled to hear from DHS officials for updates on programs that are set to close or be put on hold. The Little Rock School District also getting involved by relaunching the Stock the Rock the Right Way campaign. It's a community-wide effort designed to collect essential items, support those in need. The Arkansas Food Bank says they're seeing a 20 to 30% increase in families seeking food assistance. We've been worried about that. So if you or someone you know needs information about where to find food or other help, our THV 11 digital team has compiled a list of local food pantries and resources. Just text the word food to 501-376-1111 and we'll send you the information directly to your phone. The shutdown could also affect those of you looking to fly over the holidays, as the FAA says flights at dozens of major airports are going to be reduced as early as Friday if a deal isn't reached soon. In the announcement, Sean Duffy, the FAA administrator, said 10% of air traffic at 40 airports would be cut, though details of which specific markets hasn't been announced yet. We've got an update to a fast-moving story that sent a scare through the child care industry in the state. A fix for the shrinking reimbursement rates in those care centers is set to go into place. And THV 11's Carter Thweet's been covering this since September for us. Tonight he shows us why a new announcement could serve as a happy ending.
We've won the battle, but not the war. There's still work that needs to continue to be done.
That's Jody Abernathy's reaction to a letter sent to child care providers from the Arkansas Office of Early Childhood on Monday. It announced new reimbursement rates for providers, better than what was proposed on September 19th, and very close to what a task force of providers like Abernathy recommended last week.
But I feel like this is a plan that if we all work together, we can continue business in the state of Arkansas for children and families.
Wednesday morning, I caught up with Arkansas Secretary of Education Jacob Oliva and asked him about the changes. He told lawmakers in late September that the new rates were because of a loss of federal funding. But after uproar from providers, the department changed course.
We rolled up our sleeves, worked with our Early Learning Commission, brought everybody together and said, okay, here's the reality of this program. Let's make the best of this situation and look at some better recommendations.
Providers on the task force said that their rates could be accomplished using a little over $20 million the state already had on hand. Ultimately, Secretary Oliva agreed, though he says this week's changes are just a starting point.
We have a foundation now, and we're going to continue to invest and grow this program. We want to keep this task force engaged and keep meeting and make sure that we get it right.
Abernathy feels the same way. These new rates are better, but not perfect, and Oliva says they'll be able to fund the program more effectively with help from D.C.
We're going to work with our congressional delegation and our friends at the federal level if they ever reopen.
We can get back to business, and maybe not business as usual, but a new normal that will help us better sustain our programs.
For THV 11 News, I'm Carter Thweet.
Carter, thank you. Meanwhile, you saw him catch up with the education secretary there. They were all at Lisa Academy North Charter School, helping to celebrate an award-winning educator. Jamie Garcia won the 2025 Milken Educator Award, an award given to nominees sent to that foundation, often on word of mouth. And according to Oliva, that's what makes this year's winner so special.
And Mr. Garcia has a special impact on students where you can tell he really cares. He builds wonderful relationships, but he believes in them and he makes sure that they excel in the classroom.
And the recognition also comes with a nice $25,000 cash prize. New at 6, there's more candidate filing today at the state capitol, with Northwest Arkansas Congressman Steve Womack making his re-election campaign plans official. The Republican from Rogers hopes to win an 8th term in the House from the 3rd District. Womack, one of the slate of Republicans in Congress President Trump endorsed earlier this week. Senator Tom Cotton is filed to run for re-election, but tonight he's sending a letter to the FDA. The Commissioner, Martin McCary, expressing concerns over what he calls a growing threat from China. He wants illegal nicotine products making their way into the U.S. to get banned. In the letter, the Republican, originally from Dardanelle, says Communist China is, quote, flooding American markets with illegal and potentially dangerous products, and that many of them are targeting young people. Let's go back to the drawing board now, at least for a group of young people trying to put a fundamental right to a clean environment into the state constitution. A group of students at the University of Arkansas had drafted the Clean and Healthy Natural Environment Amendment. It's modeled on a similar proposal in Montana that survived court challenges from the fossil fuel industry. It creates a right to a clean environment, but its effect on large industries is one reason the Attorney General's office has rejected this latest draft. Tim Griffin judged the proposal to be misleading. He said it didn't account for how the amendment would alter other laws. It makes the second denial of this proposed amendment. Organizers now have to rework it once again before submitting if they hope to begin gathering signatures to try and get it on the ballot.
Little weather whiplash coming our way. How about a high of 76 on Saturday, right? Look what happens Monday morning. We drop off to around 33. Wind chill value at 27. It's going to get cold, but it's not going to last long. I'll have your complete forecast after the break.